Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently working on dealing with this minor bureaucracy deficit, and we need to get these government administrations built nice and quick. That'll be done very swiftly. So what's our actual deficit right now? That's a small surplus. I don't think that's real, is it? That's more like what I expected. 10.5k. Okay. We hit a debate on compulsory primary school, and what do we got going on? 50-50 of boosting 10 or 20%. We got the 20, so that's actually really solid. We built a lot of momentum for this. I love it. So our government administrations are all done now, and let's give that a moment to settle. We're still net negative on our bureaucracy. 257. Let's give it another couple of weeks here, and we'll see. Now, our plan is to attack Ethiopia next, and that's definitely the plan. 232, but we need to wait for our infamy to drop. That's still at plus 10 at this moment, so that'll take a little time for that to go down. So that seems fine. 234. I think it's clear that we do need a couple more government administrations. I'm going to build them in Hejaz. Theoretically, these are 65 each. So by building 4 of these, we should theoretically be approximately net negative when we factor in economy of scale. So we'll get those going, and that should be done pretty quickly. Our oil production is absolutely ramping up, and that seems fine. We just went to study on compulsory primary school. Looks good. And we're running a surplus at this moment, which is wildly surprising. Wildly surprising. But I'm okay with it. If we're going to run a surplus, I am absolutely delighted. Okay, so we now have a surplus of bureaucracy. Not a big one, but we do have some malices here that are hurting our bureaucracy pretty significantly. So let's see. That's one legitimacy. Where are these? There's one of them in here somewhere. Minus 2% bureaucracy. Okay. So yeah, that will get solved. Is that decaying? It doesn't say it's decaying. So we shouldn't need to build more bureaucracy for a while. We should be very positive on our bureaucracy once we get through that. So that looks good. Compulsory primary school is very likely to pass at this point, which is fantastic. Also, the landowners are no longer a powerful interest group. So that's great. We just moved up to voting on compulsory primary school. Seems good. And our oil rig production is absolutely progressing nicely. I'm wondering about the price of paper right now. How's that doing? What are we at here? Minus 397, so plus 3%. That's really not bad. Let's take a look at our employment numbers. The easiest way to look at that here is like this. So we're fully employed. That's understood. 42 plus 21. Is our economy of scale capped at level 50? Yeah, that's what I thought. We don't need quite this many. I'm going to cut down our paper mill construction down to 8 from 21. So 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, and 8. Theoretically, like that. We don't need that many. We'll just take it up to the economy of scale cap. But I am going to move these up to the maximum here. Although, we are still working on oil rigs behind this. Not many, but we are still working on some. I will move up these oil rigs that we've made some progress in. Yeah, about like this. And we'll just let this go. I do want to get these paper mills underway, and we'll get some of these oil rigs wrapped up, and that'll be absolutely fine. So, high-grade explosives is doing well. We also got an advance on this. So, we could make the industrialists sad and get 10% enactment chance, or we could just get enactment success chance. Do we care about the industrialists at this time? They're kind of at odds with the trade unions, but we probably are going to want to shift over to them eventually. I'm going to leave them be for now. we're only using the trade unions right now to get some of these particularly education-style laws passed. That'll be a very useful thing for us. We really need to get that literacy up. We're working on it. Okay, so we could get some Basra opinion, sure. We can also do things like attacking Bahrain, and I was actually looking at this after last episode. This would only get us 3.7 infamy. I don't think anyone would care, would they? Ukraine might, actually. Ukraine has a predicted join in here. Okay. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to fight Ukraine. That would be very bad. So that's absolutely not something that we want. Ethiopia, on the other hand, if we were to hypothetically launch an attack on Ethiopia, we are not predicting that anyone would join them. Now, I don't want to launch that attack yet, but that's definitely something that we're thinking about doing soon. So that looks good. Our paper mills in Campania are going to be done soon. The fickle crowd indeed. Yeah, you can leave the anti-French society. That's okay. Okay, so we hit a law advancement here again. 79%. We're going to get this. Beautiful. Almost certainly we're going to get that now. So these oil rigs are continuing to make some amount of progress. It's not much at this moment, and I'm wondering about universities. Yeah, we don't really need universities at this point. We really don't. But I would like to still have at least one university level in each state for the qualifications. So I'm going to just get these queued up. East Houseland is fine as well. So let's do that for now. And that would get us one in each state to get that sweet, sweet 15% qualifications. It's not about the innovations at this time. So we'll just let those build at the bottom of the queue. We're not in a rush to get those done. Okay, so that all looks good. Now, really, we rolled a stall here? That was only a 9% chance. That's unfortunate. We'll cut through some of the red tape. That's going to hurt our bureaucracy, though. And maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should just take this. We still have a very solid chance. Yeah, I think that's fine. So we're at 577K. We're working our way out of debt, and for now, that's fine. We're probably going to boost our construction eventually. This is a lot of motor industries in private construction. I was going to make some motor industries because we have not really a shortage of engines, but we have a high price on engines. We don't need to do that. Private industry has got that under control. Dyes, on the other hand, that we might want to do something about. So I'm going to go into synthetics plants, and we're going to make probably like 3 of these, something along those lines. Not many. We'll just make a couple. And rubber is actually expensive as well. We should definitely be building whatever rubber we can. We don't have any. Okay, so we're going to have to import rubber. Noted. We may be able to get some rubber by taking over some of this African territory out over this way. That would be a good thing to do, for sure. Why are we slowed down over here? Ah. This is a detention level. They're about to throw a fit. That's okay. They can do that. So that's absolutely fine. Wow, we're actually progressing on this furniture. I didn't expect that. Wild. Well, that's fine. We're delighted to be progressing on stylish furniture and high-grade explosives. Didn't try to do that. It just kind of happened. Cool. So there's compulsory primary school. That's going to be a big, big boost. We need to get our education investment up. As we can see, we've got lots of bureaucracy, so I'm not concerned about building additional government administrations, but we do need to get a law changed. And the law that I would like to change is private schools. We can't change that at this moment. We could start getting ourselves some social security here. What this would do is this would boost our standard of living specifically for substantial portions of our lower strata, which our lower strata is actually struggling quite a bit here. Our middle and upper strata are doing pretty good. I mean, everybody's pretty far above expectations, but we could definitely start going for one of these. So the Social Security institution, do we have any Social Security institution right now? No, we don't. Okay, so that's noted. Is there anything else here we want to change? I mean, we're on mercantilism. I don't really care about changing any of this right now. I feel like we're doing fine on that front. I would very much like to get appointed bureaucrats changed, but there's nothing there. We're on closed borders right now, and I mean, that's not necessarily great for what we're trying to do here. We may want to open our borders at some point, but we don't really have too much ability to do that. There's migration controls here. I mean, we could work on getting that. What would this actually do? That seems fine. Yeah, this is okay. We'll work on that. So the idea behind that is to boost our workforce, right? But if we look here, we can see we've still got 5.64 million peasants. So we need to start working on getting a lot of raw resource production going to get those peasants put to work. That means things like agriculture and resources. I do want to build these. This is going to be low priority queue. And we're going to build this. I'm going to control click and we're going to maximize all of these. I'm just putting this at the bottom of the queue. It's low priority. But anywhere where this can be built, I want to build it. Let's just sort by state here. There we go. And we are even building these in our vassal states. So that's fine for now. Again, this is not something that we are expecting to make money from long term, or rather short term. This is something that we would be expecting to make money from long term as we grow our manufacturing to utilize these. But I don't anticipate building these anytime soon. So we can get all of this going. That'll be fine. This is all very low priority, and we'll work on other stuff first, for sure. But I would like to get all of this built in. We'll see what that ends up looking like in terms of our resources, but we need to get people put into proper jobs rather than peasant jobs. So getting resource production, getting agriculture going, that's all going to be very useful for us, for sure. And we're just going to spam click through some of this stuff. Wow. 100 levels of sulfur mine in Sicily? That's insane. Okay, we've got some logging camps here. That's all fine. And we're going to boost our construction speed as well very, very soon. We're running a very solid surplus, and it's very clear at this point that we need to expand our construction, which we're very interested in doing. Okay, so let's get these all queued up for now. A lot of these resource productions will build quite quickly, but we just want to get this all built. Yeah, this is going to oversaturate our resources, but as that happens, we'll run into other problems and we'll consume the resources through manufacturing, is the idea. This is all low priority construction, only doing this if we don't have anything else to do. We just want to make sure that we're constructing as much as possible. Okay, so there's all those resources. We'll get to the agriculture later. That's a little bit more complicated to build those. We just have to figure out what we want where, and that's fine. So these synthetics plants are still going. Why are we on speed 1? No wonder that felt so slow. I must have accidentally hit the 1 key at some point. Let's move that right on up. Fantastic. So, minus 20% momentum to the Social Democratic Party. That is the trade unions. The Jewish Party is likely to win this at this time. The Radical Party could win as well. That's a lot of money. They'll have to eat something else. Okay. So for now, we do have money built up, and I would like to start working on expanding our construction a bit. So let's see here. Syria, we could take this up to 25. Let's do so. So we'll get all of those construction sectors built up. That'll be absolutely fine. We're apparently not progressing on this one. I don't know why. Now we're not progressing on this one. That's a little odd. Okay. Whatever. Seems fine. So at this point, rent in this economy. Indeed. Momentum for the Radical Party or losing momentum for the Radical Party? We'll lose the momentum for the Radical Party. These guys, they're not going to get much done if they get into power. That's a very broad coalition that's not going to do much. So that's absolutely fine. We'll drop them off a little bit. I don't think we're going to get this passed before the election. We'll see what the odds of this look like after the election. It may not be worth it, but it's fine for now. So we've got 102 pages here of construction, right? And that's kind of a lot. We're currently running a decent surplus still after finishing these. I'm going to build an additional 3 construction sectors in Chad. And we'll see how that feels once that's completed. Fruitful endorsements. So, momentum to the Jewish party, huh? I don't really want the Rabbinical Council in control here, but it looks like they're going to win. So that's understood. We may have to abandon some law changes at a certain point. So our GDP is back to being number 3 and is growing rapidly. That looks good. We need to get our peasant count down. That's kind of the overall goal at this juncture. So let's complete these construction sectors for right now. And we'll continue to target some of these things that are up here for now. Engines are still pretty up there, and that's all explosives, so that's noted. We may want to get some additional engines going in, so that's this is motor industries specifically. So here in Palestine, we could boost this up by an additional 3, which I'm going to do. So we'll get some more motor industries going in. We need to get those economies of scale working for us, so that'll be wonderful. We'll crack down on the Radical Party. Okay, debate here. 15% enactment success chance, but the Rabbinical Council is sad. They're about to win this next election, so that's going to be exciting. Now, how long is our truce here with Ethiopia? Or not with Ethiopia, with Wandala? 29 months. Okay. So that's absolutely noted. For the time being, I think we're absolutely fine to just continue to work through this. There's a lot of construction here, but I'm actually surprised that this is only 11 years worth of construction. That's surprising to me. More momentum lost to the Radical Party. Okay, perfect. So the Radical Party not doing so well here. The Jewish Party is almost certainly going to win a majority of the votes. So we'll see what happens there. It's going to be a little bit spicy. They're not going to want to do much for law changes that we want to do, most likely. But at the very least, we managed to get compulsory primary school education passed, so we're definitely working on this literacy. That's very, very good. If we check in on our institutions, we can see our education institution is going up, but that wealth education access is rough. That's our core issue there. We got to get off of private education. Who supports public education at this point? The answer is rural folk, industrialists, and petite bourgeoisie. That's kind of the Radical Party. Okay, so that's a bit of a mistake on my part then. Well, we have the Jewish Party now, and there's probably not a lot we can do about that. We're still a contested government 63 with the trade unions in power. That's interesting. If we did this... I'm just wondering what that does for us. Okay, so this one still has governmental support. Let's just bring the Rabbinical Council in at this point. And that'll just boost us up to 100 legitimacy. And that will allow us to really start working on getting some loyalists going here. That would be fantastic. So we're currently at 2 infamy. That's going away, and it should be gone probably by the time we get to next episode, would be my guess. So we still need more dyes, and I'd like to get more of those going in. So let's get some synthetics plants here, and this is going to be over in Sicily still. I'm going to make 7 of them. but not necessarily all at once. I want these motor industries here, and we can move some oil rigs up over here to have some progression. That'll be fine. Okay, so it just went up to study on migration controls. It's fairly likely at this point that the migration controls are going to be passed, and that would be great. But we clearly do need some more production here. What do synthetics plants consume? I don't actually know that off the top of my head. They consume fertilizer and sulfur. Okay, so that might cause us some fertilizer plant issues, but I think we can absolutely absorb the sulfur. That's not going to be an issue. We'll just need to build some more fertilizer plants, and that's not really a problem either. So we'll just do something kind of like that. I guess we could move these up one more. Sure, something about like that. Cool. So we're going to get some motor industries done here soon, and rubber is continuing to be a problem for us. We don't have access to any additional rubber. We've got all the rubber that we can get. There is, however, a couple of coal mines over here in East Houseland that we can queue up. We'll do that. Discord within the Rabbinical Council. Yes. So we're up to 53% on migration controls. That's going well. So that seems fantastic. But again, we need to get our peasants put to work. So I think we need to, yeah, we're at 83.4K. We need to construct a lot more. I'm going to take this up all the way to maximizing our construction sectors in chat. This is probably overbuilding our construction. We can always pause construction if we have to. This is going to be a significant boost to our construction speed, but we need it. So let's get going on that. We gotta get more people put to work. 5.5 million peasants. The question is that number going up or is that number going down? Our population growth is starting to get pretty up there, and it's going to continue to be up there. So let's see how that goes. Lots of additional construction coming in here, and that'll be absolutely fine. And we have a lot of investment pool available too. So we clearly do need to expand our construction a lot. The question is this enough, or do we need to expand it more? We'll find out here. So we got an advance on migration controls. Wow, this is going really well. Sure. We're up to 68%. Fantastic. So at this point, I'm just watching our balance continue to go up as we finish these construction sectors. That's kind of insane. But we don't know what our actual construction is going to look like here. Let's let these construction sectors finish, shake it out for a couple of weeks, and then we'll see where we're at. So that's a significant boost to our construction speed. Okay, we're net negative. That's where I want to be. Fantastic. We're net negative on our money. We're not net negative on the investment pool. So that is certainly noted. The investment pool has quite a bit of money in it right now. But it should get net negative pretty quickly here, I would think. So there's our education investment going up. Armenia wants control of their own market. Sure, you can have that. Minus 84? Yeah, this is about where I expected to be from that one. We drastically increased our construction, and this is not surprising at all. So we progressed up to voting on migration controls. The real question at this juncture is, how are we doing on peasants? And the answer is 5.48. That's good. That is a net negative on our peasants. That's exactly what we want to see. We've got a lot of unemployed as well. But we also need to work up our literacy rates and our qualifications. So all of that needs to happen. We are currently short on some fertilizer, which we're not surprised about. And Hejaz is actually a fantastic place to build this. I'm going to build 1, 2, so that brings us up to 20. Honestly, I'm going to keep building here for a while, I think. These earnings keep going up. Now they're going down. We can take this up to 50 in theory. So this would be 47, 48, 49, and 50, like that. And we would still be net positive there. But I don't necessarily want to build all of these right now. So we're going to move up like 3 of these and 3 of these for now. Okay, we'll work on something like this. That'll be fine for the moment. We're running a deficit, which we want, and we're eventually not going to be running this deficit, but we're constructing pretty quickly at this point, and that's fantastic. Kermanshah wants their market back. Yeah, that's fine. You can have that. I don't think you actually want that, but you can have it. So that looks good. Our standard of living definitely could be coming up, but I want to come down a bit on the migration restrictiveness, because I want people to be able to move around, and I want people to be able to move to our country as well. We're going to need to rely on immigration eventually. We don't need it yet, but we're going to need to rely on immigration eventually to continue to grow our workforce, which is going to be significant. So that seems good for now, and I do want to probably start moving up a couple more of these that are down here pretty soon. Let's go ahead and move up 3 of these oil rigs and then these 3 synthetics plants. I'm actually going to move this one up as well. And we'll move all of these oil rigs too. Just any of these that have progress in them right now. This way, we're still working on some fertilizer plants, but we can get some of this other stuff done too. So that looks good for now. Rubber is still a bit of an issue, but this is a lot of fertilizer that we're building. That's going to drive price for sulfur, which is good. It is time, however, to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're at 0 infamy, so we're probably going to attack Ethiopia. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.